Okay, so now what I want to do. I want to go in and figure out a good body size. I'm just going to go here to create free image plane. And I've been looking around for a picture, a full height picture of Greta, and I can't find it. I've kind of been looking for a height, nothing concrete. Where did I find it? There's one up in here. Of course. There it is. Greta AOC, Alexandra Cortez. I'm just going to pop that in. Someone's going to correct me on that name. I know it. Anyway, I couldn't find one with her feet included. Here, let's just go in and I'll close this down, and I'm just going to hide that, and maybe I'll hide that for a moment. I'm just going to oh, you bastard. I'm going to right click and add selected objects, and I just want to figure out a height. So for the height, let's push this back a bit. Let's put in these two view panels, so we got the height here. If I go into create, measure tools, distance tool. Now, AOC was 5'4". I'm going to hold down X and I'll click here and I'll click here. Okay, 5'4". So there's, 10 centimeters. So we've got to figure out, what is it, like 5'4". Here, I'm just going to pause for a second. Okay, so I figure it's 147 centimeters. So right now this is sitting at 10. I think she's 5'4". I think she's shorter. I'm thinking she's like maybe 4'10". So I'm going to go with this and I'll move it up here, and 147. Enter. Okay, so that should be the height of my character. And I always, even though I'm going to make her stylized and kind of cartoony, I like to do that. And here, I'm just going to hold down D and move my pivot point down here. Scale it up. Zoom out. And this is about the time when my grid starts to get on my nerves. If I go to display, grid, usually my favorite numbers are 200, 10, and 1. Applying close. Easier to look at. Okay, so if I bring her up to here, I'm going to pretend her feet are down around here. I just want this for a general idea of the proportions. Okay, wonderful. Her head's tilted. We'll say that's good. And Y, okay, it is updating. Okay, and I'm just going to grab the geometry here for the head. And I'm going to go and group it. Let's make it big. Put it up here. It's general proportion. Hand. The hand, if I come on over here and I hold down J, I'll make it bigger, so it's kind of like the general proportion again. Okay, what are we looking at? Maybe. Okay. And then if I was to think a bit further, what if I went and I moved the pivot point of this thing right up to here, and I did something like this. Okay, so I get a general idea of the size. Let's just take this whole thing and move it back. You bastard! There. Back. Of course. Okay, so I'm going to consider that good for now. Let's take that thing. I'm just going to hide it. I don't need the proportions anymore. It's just helpful if your characters are all of a certain size. Isn't super necessary, but it's good. It's good. And what's happened here? Okay, let's move this over a bit. I feel like it just needs to be a bit longer. It doesn't feel quite right, but you don't want to make it like have ape-like arms. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, let's put in some kind of, well, you can put in an arm. If I just go in and I grab the edges here, deselect those, we can kind of figure out that if I hit extrude and I move this over, we get an arm. Okay, and maybe that's a bit too wide. Okay, and just as general proportions. Okay, and later on I'll put an elbow in here and things. Okay, for the shirt, let's just go in and quickly, I'm going to put her in a t-shirt and pants. Nothing complicated. I'll go in here and I'm going to get a cylinder, and we'll pull my cylinder up. And here, let's just pull this up this way a little bit and scale it. Too many subdivisions here. 8 doesn't feel enough, and I think 16 is too much, so 12 is going to be my number of choice. Okay. And here, let's just go and grab these vertices here, and I'm just going to scale those down a bit. Let's look at this from the side view. Okay. That should be good. And maybe that can come up just a tiny bit. Okay. This back a bit. Feels like that. Actually, I should almost move the head forward. I'm just going to take this and move that forward just a bit here, so it's kind of in the center. Okay. Take that, and I might rotate it slightly. Scale it in. Okay. And then I'm just going to go in and get the multi-cut tool, and I'll multi-cut across here. Oop. And just a second. I click and I drag. There. This is where I'm thinking about the arm being, right here. Have to think about some proportions here. I always find that these lines work best if they're slightly inclined like this. Okay, something like that. And this up here feels like I can scale that in a bit. Actually, you know what? I'm bringing her neck down. I want a skinny neck. I think that'll look better. And let's go and take this edge ring, and split. And this moves forward a little bit. Okay. And what else do I want to do? Take this forward a bit. Yeah. And maybe there's a slight implication of hips. Okay. And just cut through here a couple of times. Great. We can kind of change the form a little bit. Maybe I'll grab the scale tool. Okay. Trying to figure that one out. Okay, great. But we're kind of blocking in the rough amount of a shirt. Actually, let's just take this. Actually, if I just grab the edge here, and I'm just going to tilt this slightly, and I'll go in and hit extrude. Just pull that down. Okay. Edge ring and split, and we'll worry about that later on. A little bit of a curve to that. Okay, and then the next thing we got to worry about is pants. Let's see if this works. I'm not totally sold on this yet. I'm just going to go to mesh display, and I'm going to hit a soften edge on that. This one here could probably use it too. Oh, and maybe I should get the sleeve going, just so you can see the t-shirt sleeve. If I go in and I take this face, this one, this one, this one, and I hit extrude, I'm just going to switch from that to my move tool, and I'll just flatten that a little bit. I could round this out, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to hit extrude again, just pull this forward, and I'm just going to overlap these things. Okay, if you can't see it, don't model it in this case. This arm is looking way too thick when I look at it. Just go and scale it down a bit. Okay. And I'm just going to make these things overlap, and then I'm going to clean them up afterwards. And maybe just for fun, just so I can kind of see the elbow and I can start to visualize a bit. The elbow should have a slight bend in it. So I'm just going to take this and push this back. Okay. That'll make it easier for rigging. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to hit soften edge again. Mesh display, soften edge, so I don't see that weird thing around her neck. Okay. And now I want some pants. What time we at? 10-minute mark. Gonna go in here to edit mesh and soften edge again. Boop. There. And if I go and I create a polygon cylinder again, and you know what? The cylinders that I always make, I'm just gonna get rid of it. I almost always start with a section of 8. So instead of 20, I'm just going to drop it down to 8. That just makes more sense to me, so I always start off at that number. Okay, pull this up and to the side. Maybe I made it too big. Just holding down Control here. Okay, so I can change the X and the Z and not the Y when I scale. Okay, and that should be good. Let's just move this over a little bit. And I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna get the multi-cut tool again. I'm just gonna cut where I figure the thigh should be. Cut right here. And I'm gonna cut one right across the knee. Figure out where the knee goes. Actually, it almost feels like I gotta change some of these proportions. Oops. Let's go like that. Okay, and I'm just gonna go in and double click on this, pull the knee forward slightly. I don't know like where these are, they're too low. And I think I'm gonna pull these up a bit for the feet. Pull that up a bit. There. Okay, and that's gonna be slightly under the shirt. The shirt's gonna hang over. Okay, and let's just take a look at what else I'm going to do. Let's take this, move it out a bit. Okay, that should be fine for the thigh. Okay, and okay, make this come forward a bit, make this come back, and just to imply the form here. And let's go over and grab this. Great. And I'm going to call it something like that. That should be fine. Now, in the front of this, when I look at it from the front view, I just need to have kind of like the idea of a crotch. I'm just going to go in and I'll grab these faces and delete them. And let's just take this object for a second. I'm going to isolate it. So Control 1. I'm just going to grab these edges and I'll hit extrude and I'll hit X when I move it. There. Okay, I can imply that a bit. And let's take a look at this thing in perspective. I'm just going to hide this. Okay, and let's take this stuff and we'll move it out. And I'm just going to take that and push that back a bit. Okay, great. And so we've got some kind of pants right here. That's where it's going to bend. Maybe over here where the knees are, I probably want another subdivision across here and here. This is going to help support the shape. And double click. Whoop. Make that bigger. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make that bigger. I'm just going to go and grab the vertices on the back and I'll just move them a bit. These ones here feel like they could be a bit smaller. Maybe rotate them a bit to imply that they're hanging on top of the foot. And let's see what else. I kind of keep feeling that the leg should be kind of skinny. Okay. It's easier to rig, so that's what I'm going to do. Boop, boop. And let's grab some of these. Again, I'm just kind of implying the form. Actually, let's do that one. Okay, something like that, and maybe like this. I could kind of imply knee wrinkles and stuff like that. I might get that in ZBrush though, and let's take, say, these faces here, and you know what? I'm just gonna delete this and this, this and this. And again, if you can't see it, don't model it. So I'm just going to go in and zip my way across here. Okay, we're at the 15-minute mark. And what's this looking like now? Okay, and let's go to this one. Okay, so the hips are sticking way out of the pants here. I'm gonna go and grab this, and I'll just hit B, and we'll get the soft selection rolling. Okay, I might have to do some tweaking with this. Not really sure about how I feel about all this. Great. And also, let's go back to the two views, and I'm going to go to the front view. Come on, you bastard. Front view. And we can see that some of these vertices here aren't lining up correctly. I'm just going to grab these, and I'll hold down X. And make sure that when I do this, if you hold down W and you left-click, the keep spacing here, I just make sure that's unchecked. So that's how I get getting that snap. Okay. Actually, all this feels like I should bring this in a bit closer. Okay, something like that. That's looking maybe a bit better. Okay. And let's go and hit Control 1 so everything's back. This piece here, we don't need to see this half here, so I'm just going to delete it. And I got these two pieces. I'm just going to go in and freeze these things. So I've frozen them out. Froze the transformation, kill the history. And I can see a problem on this one too when I grab the vertices. I'll just hold down X. Great. And I'm going to go and hit that duplicate special thing so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. Boop. On the other side. Because you get it. Oh, crap. This one here didn't work because the pivot point's there. So D, X, move it over here, and then apply. There's your arm right there. I'm just going to hold down D and X, and I'll move this thing so it's right here. And when I hit apply, okay, just hold on a second. I got to freeze the transformations on this, delete the history, and then I'll try it. There. So it's the exact same on the other side. This gives me a better sense of proportion. And the final thing I'm going to do, what do we at, 17-minute mark? I'm going to go in here and I'll soften the edges because those look bad. And I'll fix that afterwards. Same thing. There. The shoe. The shoe in this case, still not sure about all this. If I go in and I create a polygon sphere. Okay. And let's just go ahead and I'll pop this into perspective mode. The sphere. F. So what I like to do with the sphere is let's reduce this down to 12. And I'll hold down J and I will scale it out. Okay. And I'm keeping this super simple. Okay, somehow I made it out of that crash. I saved everything, so hopefully nothing bad will happen. I'm just going to go over here and I get rid of all these edges right through here. I just take all those edges, I've just double clicked on them to get them, and if I go and I hit delete edge, bloop, I get a flat surface here. And then I might do something like here, let's get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of that one, that one, that one, and that one. Come on, you bastard, go away. There. And then I'll go back here and I'll do the same thing. Delete. There and there. And I'll get my multi-cut tool out. And boop, there. There we go. And if I do want to put one right through the middle, I can click here and I think go right to there, and I've got lines right through the middle. This gives me a pretty good shape to start off with. Let's bring everything back. Okay, and I'm just going to take this thing and delete the history, freeze the transforms, and let's make it bigger. And I have a tendency to always give people big feet when I'm making cartoons. Something like this, maybe not quite that big. Okay, that should be good. And once I got it like this, I could do something like, let's do something a bit different. I'm just going to go in here to lattice. I'll put on lattice and I'll turn off use local mode, create. And I'm just going to take the T divisions, 5 is too much. S divisions, 1 is good. And U divisions, let's put in 3 or 4. And let's check out what this looks like. So when I put on the 2 viewports, if I take this one and go to the side, I can just go in here and grab lattice points and move these around, and the bottom stays where it is. Okay, wonderful. It's kind of like the soft selection, but a little bit different. Okay, and there we go. Maybe if I look at it from the top view, I can see that this needs to come over a bit to get the shape of the shoe. These ones here maybe need to go in a wee bit, out a bit, and it gives me some kind of shoey shape. Out a bit. Pull this back over here a bit. Okay, great. Maybe, yeah, those feet look too big, but that's okay, because I can take this and I'm going to delete the history and the lattice goes away. And I'll make the shoe a bit smaller. Okay. And that's kind of like a good general shape. If I take this and I pull it up, I can grab the faces on the bottom, deselect these ones, and for some reason that deselect didn't work, so I'm going to try it again. There we go. And I'll hit extrude, and I'll just use the move tool and push that down. Might hit X so it's snapped to the ground. Great. And you can build up this section here if you hit extrude. And it depends. I was going to plan on some really basic kind of shoes. Nothing special here. Keep them dark and nondescript. Let's go and hit Control 1. Boop. And I can take some of these vertices back here. I'll just grab the move tool, pull that up, pull this up. Gonna get a general shape here that I want. Pull that up a bit. Okay. And move that over. Okay. And anything else I want to care about in here? Actually, I don't know if I feel that the foot's located in a good central spot. Usually what I like to do is I look at it from the front view. Let's hit Control 1. Make sure that the hip and the foot are kind of lined up. It makes it easier for rigging. And this leg is starting to look a bit weird and wide, so let's pull this in a bit and deselect this area here. Okay. Anyway, these are things I'll probably come back and worry about when I'm in ZBrush. Maybe one more thing with the foot. We're not modeling a leg underneath or anything like that, so that's fine. If I go in and I grab the faces at the top here, just deselect that one. I can hit extrude, maybe push that in a little bit. That didn't work. Let's just go in and scale that. And then I'll hit extrude again. I'll just switch the move tool and pull that up. And really, no one's going to see this, most likely. So this is me blocking out the body really, really quick. And I'll do some more fine tuning. Remember, the elbow here needs another edge loop on either side at least to accommodate the rig. So if I come in here and I do some kind of zip through here, great. Maybe change the shape here. I'll come in and grab the edge loop, scale it in a bit, and that doesn't look very good there either, so I'll do this. Okay, and I can get a bit more form here, maybe with the shirt. What if I went and I grabbed the faces on it, and I'll hit extrude, and I'll make this smaller. I'll hit extrude again, and I'll push it in just a little bit, just so they kind of overlap, and it looks like the arm is tucked into here. Let's just take this edge, and I'll edge ring and split. Okay, and I've got to do a bit more form fitting to that, but I'll just keep them overlapped like that, and no one will be the wiser once we rig it. Okay, and I'm going to spend a bit more time afterwards mashing these all together, but for now I got everything blocked out, so I'm going to stop here.